between the last two world champions. The Dodgers took game 1 7-4. We're all teed up for game 2 and the marquee pitching matchup of this 3-game series. We welcome inside. Hope you're having a great week. Joe Davis or Hershiser. Kirsten Watson joins us in a moment. With the 7-4 win last night, the winning streak is now 7 for the Dodgers. They've not trailed during this 7-game winning streak.
They have been hot. They've been hot here at home. It's been 20-game win streak at home. They're fantastic, and this is a lot of fun to watch. And how do you win championships? Well, pitching and defense. Well, the pitching's been doing the job, whether it's the bullpen or whether it's the starters. They've been exceptional, and especially with the off-speed stuff, the short spring training. Not many guys have seen big league breaking balls the way they're throwing them, and you got to get some support, and they've got plenty of it. Almost 7 runs a game. Offense that is scoring and showing an awful lot of speed.
Marquee matchup in this series, Dodgers and Braves, and the marquee matchup within this series, Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, Max Fried for the Braves.
Could be a game 1 of a playoff series. I'll tell you what, these two, when they're pictured, you got to see some strikeouts and some good pitching. Don't believe the numbers on the left. He's been pitching in some bad luck, and you can believe the numbers on the right, except I think the strikeouts should start going up if he starts locating that 4-seam fastball a little bit better.
All right, it is Fried and the Braves, Buehler and the Dodgers. Game 2 of this 3-game series, giving away hoodies tonight. Pretty good night for it at 61 degrees. It'll dip down into the 50s before this one finishes. We've got first pitch coming up on Sportsnet LA. Number 11. Gas for less, now accepting credit cards. Dodgers and Braves ready to play the middle game of this 3-game series. Before first pitch, down to the field with Kirsten, who's got Will Smith.
I sure do. All right, Will, you guys are on a 7-game win streak. So what's been more impressive to you, the offense or the pitching?
I don't know, they've both been pretty good, honestly. You know, the starters are doing a really good job. New guy in Andrew Heaney, and then, you know, the offense has just been clicking. You know, it's just all of a sudden seems like we have, you know, 1 inning of 4, 5, 6 runs, and you know we're way ahead. And it's you know, it's really been a fun start to the season.
The Braves have Max Fried on the mound today. Last year in the NLCS, you had a big-time home run off of him. So you got to tell me, what's the key to having success against him today?
No, he's really good. You know, good. You know, fastball cuts a little bit, good curveball, good slider. Just get him up and you know, try to put a good swing on the ball.
All right, thank you, Will. Guys.
All right, Kirsten, thanks to Will for taking a minute for us as Walker Buehler gets ready for his 3rd start of this season. He started this homestand 5 2/3 scoreless before giving up the 2-out, 2-run home run. And looks to move to 2-0 on the season. The lineup that'll try and accomplish that against looks like this, with Ozzie Albies at the top of it again. Matt Olson, top hitter in the National League over the first couple weeks of this season as the first baseman and 2-hitter. Austin Riley's at 3rd, hitting 3rd. Then Marcelo Zuna, the DH. Eddie Rosario, Dodger killer, is the 5-hitter and right fielder. Former Dodger Travis d'Arnaud is the catcher with Adam Duvall in center field. Orlando Arcia in left, and Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, hitting 9th. Walker Buehler in this stadium 22-5 with a 2.09 after that performance against Cincinnati on Thursday, which ultimately was a no decision. And it was a day where he admitted afterwards that he had some jitters starting the home opener. He thought he probably tried to do a little bit too much. The rhythm and the feel came and went. When you consider all those things, the line was pretty impressive.
He's been impressive his whole career. Now the biggest game pitcher on the staff, the ace, the mantle has been passed. What he's working on right now is really getting into his season. He had the Colorado start, which was solid. He felt a little better against Cincinnati, and I put some work in. I think he's going to feel a little better here tonight.
Bounces the first pitch of the night. Ball 1 on Ozzie Albies. He had a very long bullpen session a few days ago. Kind of guy that tends to do that. Goes down there and plays with everything. Gets a swing and a miss here on a cutter, and it's 1-1.
He is a very intelligent experimenter and perfectionist, and yeah, he will tinker. But one of the maturing things about him is he started to settle in at least on the grips he's going to use.
Back-to-back cutters, 1 and 2.
The odd thing about these early season results is he's got reverse splits. So lefties, he's gotten out
better than righties.
Home with the 1-2, throws another cutter. Albies takes this one. He's thrown the curveball more, or at least he did his last outing. The changeup a bunch his last outing. Both those pitches especially good against lefties. Only going to see a few of them in the lineup tonight. Albies the first. There is a curve. Weak little pop fly from Max Muncy in the first out of the game.
Well, in comparison to the cutter, the four-seamer, the two-seamer, and the slider, all of those are being thrown to righties, but there's not a whole lot of change of speed. So he really needs to land the slider to righties. And then to lefties, because he throws the curveball and the changeup more to them, and predominantly to them, he has a nice change of speed so far this year.
Matt Olson, how good has this guy been? Up the middle. Trey Turner's waiting on it, and they get him on one pitch. Not many people have done that. Matt Olson, the National League's leading hitter with a .452 average and a .566 on base percentage. Buehler gets him on a ground out. 2 away. No score in the first inning. Here's Austin Riley. Gets the call there on the outside corner from home plate umpire Andy Fletcher.
This whole crew has been a little liberal outside to righties.
Shot to right, base hit Riley, scooting towards the corner. Betts cuts it off and holds him to a long single.
Center fielders and center field speed in all three Dodger outfield positions. Mookie Betts shows this. There's a lot of ball clubs that this is a double for sure, possible triple. Look at him cut it off before the warning track. No chance for extra bases.
Inning kept alive for Marcell Ozuna, where there are a lot of hidden runs prevented with that speedy outfield you're talking about. That's very easy to take for granted. Ozuna 0 for 4 in the opener. Off to a good start this year, though, with 4 home runs. Takes ball 1 from Buehler.
This whole Atlanta lineup, they have tremendous powers. They can be free swingers at times, and when they are hot with the bat to ball skills, they're dangerous.
Stroke to right. Betts angling over. He's there, and that's the inning. Buehler puts up the 0 in the first. Max Fried takes the ball when you come back. At the top of the lineup, and then Freddie Freeman off for that emotional night last night, hitting his first home run as a Dodger. Trey Turner had one of the big swings in yesterday's game with a bases clearing double. Then Justin Turner and Max Muncy. Chris Taylor's in left. Hanser Alberto gets his second start with the Dodgers. Cody Bellinger, late addition to the lineup. Gavin Lux was scratched with some back stiffness, and Austin Barnes catches and bats 9. Max Fried, who started his baseball career in the Encino Little League and then went to Montclair Prep, transferred to Harvard Westlake for his senior season. Here he is now in the big leagues. Last 3 years leads the National League in wins. He's top 10 in ERA. And while the numbers aren't good so far, you peer a little bit closer. There's been a lot of weak contact like you normally associate with him. Just a lot of soft hit balls that have fallen in. His first pitch is way inside and ball 1.
Here's the arsenal from last year, predominantly the four-seam curveball slider. He also has that sinker and changeup. He really hasn't been getting the results from his main pitches and the combo of slider and curveball. But like Joe said, it has been a little bit of bad luck. The Dodgers have found a lot of good luck on their ground balls, and Max Fried has found a lot of bad luck. So we'll see how that equation works out tonight.
Left-hander home with a 2-0 pitch. Mookie Betts pulls it sharply foul. Fried, who grew up a diehard Dodger fan, wanted to be Clayton Kershaw, wanted to throw a curveball like Sandy Koufax, has had his problems in this ballpark. 5 starts here. He's got a 7.43 ERA. He's given up 5 home runs in those 5 starts. His 2-1 is poked gently to second. Kind of a knuckling, spinning bouncer to Ozzie Albies for the first out. One away in the first inning, and here's Freddie Freeman. Home run, couple walks last night. On base in 7 of his last 10 plate appearances. And he said as special as last night was, seeing all his old teammates and friends and reminiscing about the championship season and his decade there. Ultimately, last night was about helping the Dodgers win again. And he takes ball 1 from Fried.
What a special at bat. First at bat against your old team. After all the visits, most of the guys he said he hadn't seen since the parade back in Atlanta.
Got to see the Braves GM Alex Anthopoulos, who actually flew to LA just to see Freddie. It was such a special trip for that they visited in the dugout, and before the game even started, Alex headed to the airport and went back to Atlanta. So it was a very specific reason for his trip. Yeah, there was some stuff at Freddie's press conference, and both sides things written where it looked like it was not a good split at all, and there were some hurt feelings. But they healed those things with a 3-hour FaceTime conversation soon after that, Freddie and Anthopoulos. On a 2-1 pitch, Freeman watches a strike, and the count evens out.
Respect from both men. You can easily turn the page and say, you know what, that part of our life is over, that chapter has changed, but no, neither one wanted to do that. I'm glad they ironed it out.
2-2. 2 out.
Breaking ball here gets Freddie. Changeup got Mookie. Interesting storyline to tonight on how the Dodgers will attack the off-speed stuff of Fried.
Fried goes to work against Trey Turner. Curveball popped out of his hand, 1-0. Turner with a bases clearing double in that 5-run 4th inning last night. Dodgers scored 7 in the 4th on Sunday, 5 in the 4th last night. Yet another big inning, and this was the biggest swing in that inning.
Well, this 4th inning has been magic for the Dodgers. Not only do they have 21 runs this year just in the 4th inning alone, that's the most of any big league team in any inning. The offense is exploding when there's a 4 up there labeling the inning.
On a 1-1 pitch, Turner watches one bounce, ball 2. You pointed out last night that a lot of times that'll correspond with the top or the middle of the order.
Second time around, got some more information. Third time around, you don't get to pile up on them without doing some of it at least against the bullpen.
Changeup cut on a miss, 2-2. Fried deals a 2-2, and Turner fouls it into the glove for strike 3. That's a 1-2-3 first inning for Fried, and no score after 1.
Presented by State Farm, the game where we
Game goes to the 2nd inning here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers looking for their 8th consecutive win. They've got Walker Buehler on the mound, and if he and Dodger pitchers strike out 10 tonight, everybody gets a free jumbo jack tomorrow. 5, 6, and 7 in the Braves order. Eddie Rosario leads it off. Last year's NLCS MVP. Fouls off the first one from Buehler. His biggest swing came against Walker Buehler. 3-run home run in the clinching Game 6. And then Rosario started this season 1 for 29. Comes off the bench last night, and because he's facing the Dodgers, first pitch that he sees, he doubles down the line. It's behind here 0-2.
Over the years, when you match up against the same team in the playoffs, you see rivalries between the two teams. Well, you get personal rivalries too when a guy has success with you in the playoffs.
Hanser Alberto over there in the shift to get a hustle in Rosario. And somebody asked Dave Roberts today, do you think Walker Buehler gets up for a matchup like Buehler against Fried? And he said, I think it's more Walker Buehler gets up for a matchup with a Braves team that in 2 games in the championship series last year scored 8 runs in 7 innings against him.
Exactly. And then even boil it down to the individuals that hurt him, and those are personal at bats.
Well, he wins one of those personal ABs, and now d'Arnaud turns on a ball, sends it a mile to left and gone. Into the back of the bullpen. Travis d'Arnaud's second this year, and the Braves lead 1-0.
Walker with a 6-pitch mix, but if you don't want to hit any of the other pitches, you want to pick on the 4-seam fastball. A lot of times you're going to get that on the first pitch, and he said, "Thou shall not pass" on this fastball, and it leaked from the outside part of the plate to the middle half, right into that swing.
Opponents, and still a very small sample, especially when you're boiling it down to individual pitches, but against Buehler's fastball are 5 for 9 with 2 home runs and a double. 1 gone. Here's Adam Duvall, strike 1.
He just hasn't had the success with the 4-seamer this year, and hasn't really had it elevated in the kind of the proper area to get a swing or to get him to miss it or foul back. That home run pitch was a little too low and a lot too much of the plate.
The last year when he had it elevated, the league hit 155 against it. The only guy that had a more effective 4-seam fastball was Max Scherzer in all of baseball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Duvall. Off the end of the bat, way up there, and shallow left field for Trey Turner. Puts away Duvall, 2 gone.
These Braves are not afraid of swinging. They are hacking and aggressive.
It's an interesting team offensively. They had 1 game last week where they scored 16 runs. They've scored 3 runs per game otherwise. They're still without Ronald Acuna, who's starting his rehab tonight, officially playing in a rehab game in the minors. Still working back from that torn ACL. Orlando Arcia takes a strike. And he, of course, will transform this lineup when he comes back. He'll be right at the top. Let him move Albies down to the middle of the order. No balls and 2 strikes. Arcia's playing time will be diminished greatly at that point. He's in left field tonight. Infielder by trade. Cracks this one on the ground past the diving Turner into center. First hit of the series for Arcia.
Some people might think, why didn't Trey Turner get that ball? But Arcia's speed forced Turner to play it a certain way so that he could get up quickly and get the throw over to first. A slower runner, he probably runs through this, takes some time to gain his balance, spins and throws, but he was trying to figure out a way to catch it, slide, and pop up.
Here's the 9-hitter, Dansby Swanson. Takes a slider to the knees for a strike. Swanson 2 more strikeouts last night, now 20 on the year, more than anybody else in the majors. Longest tenured Brave at this point, coming off back-to-back really good seasons. 2020 he was top 5 in the league in doubles and in runs, in wins above replacement. Had his best power numbers last year, hit a career high 27 homers. And he's played almost every day, which is a big deal for any player, but especially a guy like Swanson, who early in his career dealt with a bunch of injuries. 1 ball, 1 strike on him. He'll be a free agent at the end of this year. Guy who, in the eyes of Braves fans, has gone from being the franchise savior, right, the local boy they traded for, first overall pick, to a bust when he struggled early on, to settling in and being a cornerstone of this championship team.
He can sometimes be a don't lose your glove kind of guy, and other times he can get hot with the bat. Really interesting player, I think.
Ron Washington, who has been in the game for 50 years, says he's the best defensive shortstop he's ever seen.
Wow. That's saying something.
Or ever coached.
Okay.
Ever coached.
All right.
Still.
He's up there.
Two and two. Changeup got away from Buehler.
Change up to a righty. We're not the only ones that see patterns in results and what pitches are hit and what pitches get people out. I'm sure Walker has been made aware of not as many off-speed pitches to righties, and they're hitting you pretty good. Breaking ball, change up breaking ball. It's good. You know, until the fastball location comes around, until a little extra zip on the up fastball, maybe it needs a little help. The way to help it is to throw some good off-speed pitches.
Braves in front 1-0 on the Travis d'Arnaud home run. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Swanson. Buehler comes back home and another foul ball. It is yet another solo home run for these Braves, who lead the National League, but haven't hit a home run with somebody on base since opening day. They got a 2-run home run from Riley on opening day. 15 consecutive solo homers since.
Between setting the table, they've hit well with runners in scoring position. They're just not getting enough guys in scoring position. And they're hitting home runs, but nobody's on.
Comes up with a fastball. Swanson almost got on top of it. Instead, Chris Taylor makes the catch. That's the inning. Dodgers trail for the first time since the opening series in Colorado, but a long way to go in a 1-0 game.
Our educators with a 2022 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 lucky winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza plus a teaching kit. Enter online on SpectrumEducator.com for your chance to win.
Justin Turner leads off the second for the Dodgers against Max Fried. Went 1-2-3 in the first inning with a couple Ks. He gets strike 1 on Turner here. Turner, a .421 hitter with 2 home runs against Fried. This Dodger lineup tonight, 8 home runs combined against Fried. One ball, 1 strike.
That sinker is firm and got a lot of movement.
Spikes that curve, and there's so much movement on it that you watch it and then you look like, wait a minute, what pitch was that? And you see the 96 and it's like, oh.
When Freddie Freeman struck out, I thought it was a really hard slider, and then Looking at what they charted it, it was a two-seamer at 95 miles an hour, and the bottom dropped out of it.
Wardrobe malfunction. Something sharp pavement that happens.
Real sharp. They want to get it out of that area where guys are going to be sliding.
Careful, Brandon.
That'll probably take that over to the authenticator.
Yep, that's a real big league shard of glass.
How did it get in his shoe? Wow. In the locker room or someplace? He had a home run with that shoe and that shard of glass.
I want to keep it.
Yeah.
Thread it through your lace or something. Good luck, glass. All right, ready to go again. 2 balls and a strike on Turner. Fried comes back home. Reaches out, lifts it off the end of the bat to center field. Duvall makes the call and the catch. So Fried's retired the first 4 that he's faced. Here comes Max Muncy, who, like a lot of guys in this lineup, has tormented Fried. 5 of 11, 2 home runs and a triple.
Max Muncy.
Max hits the fastball, and he does a really good job on off-speed stuff. If he can anticipate it, stay on it. Looks like he sees Fried pretty well.
Pulls the fastball to first, backhand Olsen, and Fried's going to get him on 1 pitch. Two gone, second inning. Here comes Chris Taylor, who had yesterday off. He's back in there today. He's hitting .333 through 8 games this year.
One of the most consistent Dodger hitters, he and Gavin Lux. Cody Bellinger kind of up and down, either 2 hits or no hits, but Chris Taylor, he's been getting his a lot of different days.
Taylor has the #1 line drive rate in the National League. Last time he faced Max Fried, he took him deep and homered twice more on that game. It was Game 5 of the National League Championship Series last year. Couldn't lay off. 0-2.
A lot of off-speed stuff coming from Fried right now. Really not challenging the Dodgers with his fastball at all. When he does throw the fastball, it's not the 4-seamer. He's throwing the sinker.
On 0-2 of the curveball. This one taken. 1-2. Two gone, second inning. 1-2 to Chris Taylor is in there for strike 3. And another 1-2-3 frame for Fried. Through 2 innings, it's 1-0 Atlanta.
It's time for
And plus MLB Big Inning and select pregame and postgame coverage. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
On a Travis d'Arnaud home run. The Braves lead the Dodgers 1-0. Walker Buehler with a first pitch breaker that's cut on and missed by Ozzie Albies, who had a career high 30 home runs last season. He's an all-star for the 2nd time and is tied for the major league lead with 5 of them early on this year. There's a guy that flips this one into left field. That is just fair. Headed to second with a double. Just carved that one out. Dropped it inside the line. And he's in scoring position to open this third inning.
Talk about all his power and the 5 home runs, and then he does this on a cutter. Walker threw him an awful lot of cutters in the first at bat. He still couldn't get the barrel on that one, but he clipped the line.
62-mile-per-hour exit velocity. 95 is the hard hit mark. So a double for Albies to lead off this inning, and here's Matt Olson. That's ball one. No, Albies a guy that it seems like gets lost in the shuffle when you think about this edition of the Braves. They had the cornerstone and the MVP in Freddie Freeman. They've got an all-world superstar in Ronald Acuna. Former first-round pick, the hometown guy, Dansby Swanson. Even Austin Riley, a ton of attention as a first-rounder. This guy here, Matt Olson, big news, his arrival. And then there's Albies, just kind of quietly going about his business. 2 All-Star game appearances, 2 Silver Sluggers, 4 straight division titles for the Braves since he became the everyday second baseman. So in a lot of ways, while yeah, Freeman was the face of the franchise, Acuna's the big star, Albies has kind of been the tone setter with his energy, his fearlessness, and has managed to do so somewhat quietly because of those other pieces around him. One ball, 2 strikes on Matt Olson. Leading hitter in the National League at .452. Takes a curve in the dirt, and the count evens 2-2.
Olson with 2 RBIs, even though he's the leading hitter. 2 solo home runs. This is only his 5th at bat all year with a runner in scoring position.
It's wild, right?
It's unbelievable.
Fouls it off. One hurt.
Smiling his way through the pain. Oh. A little higher than expected. Get off me, ball swing, and then you hit yourself.
Yeah. Too late. There's another 2-2. Count goes full. The strikeout numbers down for Walker Buehler through 2 starts, and against a lineup here that strikes out an awful lot, without one so far.
A lot of different theories to this pitch, because you know you'd like to strike out, not move Albies up. The walk doesn't bother you because it sets up the double play. You don't want to just move him over with a routine out on a routine pitch where Albies goes to third and now you got a man on third and 1 out. It's like there's different ways to get out of this inning with no runs, and one of them is a walk and then a double play. So you can kind of go a little bit more high risk on this pitch to try and get the strikeout.
Now the next 2 guys neither run very well, and Riley or Ozuna. 8th pitch to Matt Olson is a fastball, slap foul.
He's throwing him everything he's got. He's wearing him out inside, had him foul it off his body, came back with a breaking ball in the dirt he didn't bite on. Right there, he just went 2-seamer hard away. You can see the whole kitchen sink right there. A lot of dirty dishes in that sink.
Having a hard time putting Olson away. One of the best 2-strike hitters in the majors last year. Fouls another dirty dish.
When you pull the trigger on the curveball, you're trying to strike him out or have him pull it foul like that. You don't want just the roll over to the first baseman or the second baseman. This is a strikeout pitch, and it's a little bit up. But you can see the speed gets him way out in front, so he gets what he wants to pull foul, but he didn't get what he ultimately wanted, was the strikeout.
And so the 9th pitch coming. Fouls back a heater. This is a guy in Matt Olson who in his first 5 seasons in the majors struck out a bunch. Last year almost cut the strikeout rate in half without sacrificing any power. Still hit 39 home runs. He's top 10 in the league in slugging, while being much better bat to ball. On the 11th pitch, he takes ball 4. First walk for the Braves in 3 games. Although, like you touched on, not the worst outcome for Buehler.
Yeah, the same ground ball that moves Albies to third with 1 out could be a double play ball. And that's the strategy with strikeout or possible walk. And set the table here for some outs.
Austin Riley singled his first time as runners at first and second, nobody out. 25 years old in his 4th big league year. Hits one sharply up the middle. Muncy juggles but gets to the bag, and that is exactly what you were looking for. A double play. Albies takes third, and he can have it as Buehler induces the twin killing.
Second best strategy turns into the first best strategy. You don't want the walk. He's been trying and battling for the strikeout, but he ends up walking him, and it ends up working out. It was part of the equation, maybe not the first equation, but one that worked.
They had a juggle, but no problem for Muncy. He was hit so sharply he had time. And it's up to the cleanup man, Marcell Ozuna. Buehler a chance to get out of this. Ozuna hit it hard his first time, but it was caught by Betts deep and right. Swings and misses wildly at a slider. Strike 1.
Walker understanding now after watching these Braves these first few innings and the way they're attacking him, they are trying to ambush him. d'Arnaud in the home run, first pitch fastball, that swing there, the swing that Albies has taken.
Back-to-back swings and misses. 0-2.
We're not going to string hits against this guy, so let's try and attack him. Let's go for it. And they are cutting it loose.
Buehler looking for his first strikeout of the day, trying to get out of this 3rd inning jam. He went with the same thing. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Ozuna barely got a piece to stay alive.
I don't think Ozuna's the kind of guy right now that you think I'll throw him a neck-high fastball and set him up for the breaking ball. It's the kind of one where you'll kick yourself because he looks like he's so ready to swing. I think you just stay breaking ball, throw it in the dirt, trust your catcher.
Oh, he tried the high heater.
He did.
And Ozuna's looking out at him with that look in his eye like, I'm going to get you if you do that again.
Well, you know the adrenaline is running in the hitter. So it doesn't matter how hard you throw. When the big league hitter has adrenaline and intensity, you got to use that against him right here.
Another 0-2. He went back to it, took it. Ball on.
The slider away is a safer pitch than the curveball in the dirt. The curveball in the dirt is harder to block than the slider that's low. The slider just kind of skids. The curveball can bounce over your catcher.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Joe, this feels like an all-star game at bat, you know, with the facial expressions coming from the hitter out at Walker.
I was just thinking, if I'm the guy standing in the mound and big Marcell Ozuna standing there shooting these stares at me after each pitch he takes, I'm starting to get a little worried. 2-2. Got him. Went off that edge a little bit farther, this time with a cutter, and he's able to pitch around the leadoff bloop double. A smile from Walker. And a 1-0 game after 2.5. For the best coverage in the game, we check out the T-Mobile Coverage Cam. Taco Tuesday at Dodger Stadium. And the mariachi performing pregame and throughout the game. Hanser Alberto leads off this third for the Dodgers and takes ball one from Max Fried as they continue to search for their first base runner of the game against the LA native. Hanser making his second start as a Dodger. Back-to-back curves. 2-0.
Fried is sticking with his breaking stuff. He's not landing it for a strike, but the Dodgers are helping him out with some chase. So that means he's probably making it look like a strike, ending up a ball.
Back-to-back curves to start. Home with a fastball that's yanked foul.
That's hard to do right there. Curveball, curveball, fastball in and turn on it. Usually the curveballs would slow you down and you wouldn't be able to turn on the fastball. That's some reaction swing right there.
Alberto, who's 1 for 5 as a Dodger, cracks his bat on a roller to third for Riley. 7 straight retired to open the game for Fried. And now a word from Morongo.
Morongo is calling. Good times.
Now it's Cody Bellinger, who originally was not in the lineup. Dave Roberts just giving him a day and looking and seeing that tomorrow is a day game, and so he's going to give him one of the 2 days. Figured today made sense with the lefty Fried out there, but then Gavin Lux experienced some tightness in his back. And the late change has Bellinger in there. So he's got the tough lefty-lefty matchup with Fried, but he also has a chance to build on what he did last night. That included ripping a home run. Also a double. One ball, one strike.
We've had a lot of good signs from Cody, and they've come in bunches. 2 hits, no hits, 2 hits, no hits. But I tell you, his confidence is really starting to boil over. And an 0-for is not going to hurt that confidence now that he's starting to get some results.
High fly ball to center field, and he just missed it, didn't he? Duvall, 2 out.
A little breaking ball that slid its way off the real sweet spot on the barrel. Just see a little feel for there at the end. You see it's off the end of the bat. If that's 3-4 inches into the barrel a little bit more, it probably hits it out.
Two gone third inning out of the 9th spot. Here's Barnes, who also has hit Max Fried well. 3 for 6 with a home run. Barnes catching tonight instead of catching Kershaw last night. That's so Smith can catch 2 of the 3 games in the series. So Smith got Kershaw last night, and he'll be back in there tomorrow, as opposed to one of the 2 guys going tonight and less than 24 hours from now.
Austin looks better this year at the plate, not just because of the results, that 400 average, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. He just got better balance. It looks like the foundation has improved.
Worked on some things during spring training that identified that were out of sync in his swing. If you just break it down, as we've done a little bit talking about Cody Bellinger and Gavin Lux, to like 3 links to the chain. You got the bottom half, and then the core, and then the upper half. And the way that one triggers and fires into another throughout an efficient swing. His is a little bit out of order, a little bit out of whack in the way that it was firing, and they use that biomechanical data to dive in and address a few things that you talk about him looking balanced. That's the outcome of that change.
And when that kinetic chain is not synced up, it usually is coming from the ground up.
Brant Brown, Robert Van Scoyoc. On 2-2, Barnes fouls it off.
Those 2, when they first started as hitting Batman and Robin, as far as teaching the hitters and being in charge of that department, they were clean shaven, and they looked like, you know, young guys that are really coming in to bring the latest, greatest facts. Now they're starting to look like, with a facial hair, like professors.
Grizzled
Yeah.
professors, tenured.
Gotta go visit them in their office.
Have a seat, please.
We've got some things to go over.
Another 2-2. Barnes fouls it again.
That balance, that sequencing of that kinetic chain, it can make the ball seem like it's moving slower. It can make the ball look bigger, because all of a sudden you're just getting better information to your eyes. And it makes a lot more comfortable at bat.
On the 8th pitch, Barnes went around, inning over. Max Fried has 4 strikeouts through 3 perfect innings, and the Braves have a 1-0 lead. On Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Feed your happy at Carl's Jr. and earn double stars on any purchase in the app. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Joe, Orel, and Kirsten back at Dodger Stadium. Top of the 4th on a Travis d'Arnaud home run. The Braves have a 1-0 lead. Eddie Rosario starts the inning and takes a strike and a changeup from Buehler. One. Walker Buehler, who got married this winter. His now wife Mackenzie. Honeymooned in St. Lucia. That's where he started his off-season program, started his weighted ball program. I'm just picturing somebody being also, you know, vacationing in St. Lucia and watching this guy throwing weighted balls against the wall. Like, who in the world is this guy? Oh, I recognize him. Wow, somehow gets on top of that ball and bangs it to the right side for a leadoff base hit. Thought about trying to test him, instead goes back with a single.
Guys hitting 063 are not supposed to turn around neck high fastballs. His average isn't going to end up there. He gets out of the crouch, gets on top of that, spanks it into right field.
Rosario's on, d'Arnaud's up. Pops it up for Muncy. So the home run hitter pops out on the first pitch here.
Up cutter, he wasn't going to throw him a cookie fastball, let him pick on that. Let it look like a fastball, make it move a little bit. Walker's got to feel like he's pitching on the 405. He's had traffic every inning.
I don't know. You know that one?
I don't know. I don't know if that's to Walker for getting him out.
Here's Adam Duvall. And there's strike one.
It's normally the sign for, like, you won some money.
Right.
But I don't know, after a pop-up with a man on first,
So
one
I
out
was
in the
thinking.
4th.
And I'd also be surprised if Buehler was engaging in anything like that in the middle of one of his starts. Seems like it would be between Turner and Muncy. But like what? The bet's not, I bet you can't catch a pop-up, or, you know, it's just.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Max grinding on his positioning right there. Where am I? Where's the bag? Where's the grass?
Got away from him. 2-1. Well placed, 2-2.
Perfect little cutter.
Duvall digs it out, sends it to left center field, playable for Chris Taylor. Back to first goes Rosario, and 2 away.
92-mile-an-hour cutter backed up by an 83-mile-an-hour slider. Got him out front off the end of the bat. Record the out. Pitch around this
Number 11, Orlando
leadoff
Arcia.
base hit.
Orlando Arcia, who, like Eddie Rosario, kind of has a thing against Buehler. Arcia has been one of the worst hitters in the National League the last few years, but has 2 home runs against Buehler and singled against him today. Takes a strike. Longtime Brewer Arcia. Traded to the Braves early on last year. He spent most of the season in AAA, though. Played in just 32 games for the big league club, and then was on the postseason roster. Came off the bench, got himself a World Series ring. Down an 0-1 pitch. Pokes it to right center. Bellinger sprinting, won't get there. Plays it off the wall. Rosario's flying around third. Here's the relay from Muncy up the first base line. Throw goes to third. They've got Arcia in a rundown. Alberto tags him out. But it's a couple Buehler killers, traditional Buehler killers, that combine here. Rosario with the leadoff base hit. Arcia with a 2-out double. 2-0 Atlanta. Back here at Dodger Stadium, 2-0 Atlanta as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. I think that's Kendrick Lamar hanging out down the pavilion. The Compton native, Kendrick Lamar. He's got a new album dropping next month. It's ball or strike one on Mookie Betts.
What a thrill.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Wow, look at you. Off the top of your head or a little research?
It wasn't off the top of my head.
I just wondered. I felt really behind the times.
Yeah. Love him, though. Top of the order for the Dodgers. Getting another look at Max Fried, who's gone 9 up and 9 down. Falls behind Mookie Betts, 2-1. Well, even though the numbers coming into the game not good, he's lost both his starts. His ERA close to 6. It's not overly surprising. He's been one of the top pitchers in the league the last couple years. As you touched on, Oral, bad luck had a lot to do with those first couple starts. This is ripped to left center, but caught by Arcia. You know, last year he dealt with hamstring and blister issues during the first half, so he was only okay. But then he got healthy, and that corresponded with the Braves going on a tear, winning the division, making the postseason. Final 2 months, he was 10-1 with a 146. And while he had his tough moments during the postseason, the night the Braves clinched their first World Championship since 1995, he was the starting pitcher, 6 shutout innings. Of course, this man was playing first base for him. Strike one.
This inning has been the Dodger offense best inning of the year. They've scored 21 runs in the 4th. And it is officially second time around the order. And Mookie Betts smoked the ball to left. Let's see what Freddie's got.
On an 0-1 from Fried. Freeman chops one right side. Picked up by Olson. Fried beats Freeman into the bag. 2 out.
6 of the first 9 outs from Fried. As you see a little camaraderie between those two right there. 6 of the 9 outs on off-speed stuff coming from Fried. 3 on sliders, 3 on changeups. Mookie Betts hit a sinker to left. Looked like that pitch right there that Freddie rolled over was something off-speed.
Here's Trey Turner. Punches it foul. Fried very efficient. Just 45 pitches through almost 4 innings here. First 2 outings of the season for him, 84 and 78 pitches. Buxton fires 0-1. Turner gets on top of it. Diving stop at third by Riley. Got to his feet and got the fastest man in the sport. So 4 perfect innings from Max Fried. This 4th inning comes on 8 pitches. Big time help at the hot corner.
Turner hit it hard. Can't outrun it when you hit it that way. Whew.
Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by Mito Lotto. Download the new Mito Lotto app to order tickets for this week's big lottery jackpots. Scan the QR code for a free ticket. 9-1-2. Dansby Swanson swings and misses at Walker Buehler's first pitch of the 5th. Braves got 1 in the 2nd and a home run from d'Arnaud. 1 last inning and a double from Arcia.
Braves have now swung at 40 of Walker's 62 pitches. That is aggressive.
Yeah. That's kind of who they've been the last couple of years. Even though they lost Freddie Freeman, added Matt Olson, a lot of the other pieces have remained the same. And that aggressive style that they've always had. Swanson, the longest tenured Brave with Freeman's departure. 28 years old, his 7th season now. Fouls this one off, and it's 2-2. Like Walker Buehler, a first-round pick out of Vanderbilt. Of course, Dansby was the first overall pick to the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2015. Got traded 6 months later. Full count. Buehler's payoff. Fastball, pinpoint, 1 gone.
Vanderbilt accuracy. We don't grade on a curve. You got to hit your spot.
Great on a fastball.
Exactly.
Glad you like that one.
I did like that one a lot. It finished off my short thought.
Top of the order for Albies. Bloop double his last time up. Generous outside corner fastball. And it's 0-1. Pulls this one sharply into right center, and Albies has his 2nd hit tonight. Braves out hitting the Dodgers 7-0.
They carved one down and hit the left field line, and now he breaks his bat, bloops it into right. Walker's going to pull his hair out.
Runner at first, 1 gone. Here's Olson. Swings and misses. Olson has grounded out and walked. We're talking about the Braves being aggressive. Last 3 games, they have 24 strikeouts. That walk is their only walk in that time. 24 strikeouts to 1 walk.
The dangerous part about this offense when you get going is when those home runs turn into multiple runs instead of solo shots.
Big rip and a miss, 0-2. Defending champs 5-7 at this point. 2-3 on this road trip. They split 4 games in San Diego. Albies with a good lead. He runs. Here's an 0-2. It's in the dirt and no throw from Barnes. Albies into scoring position. Picked a good one to run on.
You've got the right pitch. You got a good lead. You got a breaking ball. Decent jump. With the ball in the dirt, Austin Barnes had no shot.
Fastball. Bounce to Freeman. Buehler to the bag. 2 away.
One of the great rivalries matchups is coming to town. The Giants battle the Dodgers in a 2-game series at Dodger Stadium on May 3rd and 4th. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/tickets.
Giants got swept in a doubleheader today in New York. Lost 5-4 in the first game in 10 innings and then ran into Max Scherzer in the second game. Scherzer took a no-hitter into the 6th inning against him. Finished off 7 innings, just 1 hit. 3-1 the final score. A little bit low, ball 1 on Riley. And so the Giants fall to 7-4. It's the Rockies that are in second right now. They're 7-3 and lead the Phillies 6-5 in the 8th inning. Do you believe the Rockies have the #1 bullpen in baseball?
Really?
1.88 ERA so far. Albies at third, 2 out. Buehler home with a 2-0. Riley fouls it back, 2-1. A check swing, base hit to right. 3-0 Atlanta as Albies scores.
Probabilities of baseball are not going Walker Buehler's way. Broken bat hit, 2-out double in the gap that all of a sudden scored a run last inning, and now a check swing bleeder right on the barrel. And that's enough. That gives you just enough to get it out there.
Eighth hit of the game for Atlanta. Second one for Riley. Here's Ozuna with 2 gone. Riley runs, throw from Barnes, not in time, and a stolen base for Austin Riley.
Dodgers are going to look at a replay maybe on an interference. I don't know if that's reviewable. No, there's no problem there at all. I don't know what they were looking over there in the dugout for. Maybe coming off the bag at second. That's what they were thinking about. Well, he's on it the whole time.
Austin Riley's first career steal in his 4th year in the majors. Here's a 1-0 to Ozuna. Fly ball right center. Betts going back on the track. He's got room. That ends the top of the 5th. The Braves get another single run, and we're halfway home in a 3-0 game.
Be at Dodger Stadium on Saturday, April 30th, when the Dodgers host the Tigers. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and add a Kirk Gibson Legends of Dodger Baseball bobblehead to your collection, courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan that QR code on your screen.
Justin Turner leads off this fifth for the Dodgers, still looking for their first base runner against Max Fried, who pours in strike one. Turner flied to center his first time. Fried, who has an ERA north of 7 in his 5 starts in this ballpark in his career, putting it all together here tonight. Former 7th overall pick out of Harvard Westlake. Started at Montclair Prep, but then Montclair folded its baseball program right before Max's senior year, so he was looking around for a place to go. Harvard Westlake rarely accepts transfers, but they made an exception for Max, not because of his pitching, but he had an almost perfect academic track record, and they let him in. So rolled it to second, easy play for Albies. 1 gone in the 5th. .28 years old now in his 6th year with Major League time. Braves got him in the Justin Upton deal back before 2015 when the Padres went for it. Missed a couple years early on in his pro career because of Tommy John surgery, but got healthy from that. Reached the majors at the end of 2017 and has become their ace. Opening day starter back-to-back years. Max Muncy grounded out his first time. Takes ball 1. Evan Phillips warming. One and 1. Now Muncy upset with himself. Bat caught that ball. He was trying to lay off. 1 and 2. We see Phillips warming. Buehler's only at 79 pitches. Rosario, d'Arnaud, and Duvall due up. Rosario's hit him well. d'Arnaud has a home run against him tonight. But Buehler in his last start threw 98 pitches. Before today, the second most in a game in baseball this year. Fried kicks and deals 1-2. Same thing. That thing caught the bat. Twice in 1 AB.
Get the knob of the bat. Just the barrel on the back end. Yep. Just ticks the barrel.
Another 1-2.
Fried doesn't have the posture of an ace, but he tries to eliminate a lot of unnecessary movement. So he gets into a posture with the shoulders kind of slouched forward, the knee bend, and kind of sitting in his hips. But then when you watch his leg kick, nothing else moves. The angle of his spine, the knees are all the same. So he gets into a posture that he's going to stay in through the delivery. A lot of guys will lift their leg and it'll change and arch their back. Some guys will start with straight legs and then get into a flex. He gets into a posture, and all he does is turn his foot a little bit and lift his leg, and he's in the same exact place he needs to be. That body will not change. It'll just be a leg kick. That slouch and the knee flex, all the same.
Tapper right side. Albies again. 2 kickouts in the 5th.
He does a great job lifting his leg with just his abs. Guys who have to throw their leg up and are not using their abs, they don't create that powerful center. His one movement of lifting those legs with his midsection keeps everything constant, and then he just goes for it. Pre-game, he is just working on his posture. This is before he even barely starts to play catch. He's got exact measurements of how he wants to deliver the ball.
Barely misses. First one to Taylor.
Control your mind, control your body, control your body, control the ball.
On 1-0, Taylor fouls it back. 1-1. Took strike 3 called his first time. It's one of the 4 Ks for Fried, who gave up 15 hits over his first 2 starts. No base runners through 4 2/3 tonight. His 1-1 pitch. Awkward swing and a miss. 1-2.
You see games like this, and if the offense can get a hit or a walk or something, you know, you just hope to break the dam loose. You get a little drip, get a little leak, and then go get them. Dodgers are just looking for that something to break loose.
Took this change up. 2-2. Hallmark of the offense has been the big innings. They're looking for any kind of inning. Trailing for the first time in more than a week. Hadn't trailed during the 7-game winning streak. On a 2-2 pitch, Taylor takes very high, ball 3. Braves are the run in the 2nd, run in the 4th, run in the 5th. Fried finally has one that he likes. The left-hander's 3-2. Fouled straight back. Good rip from Taylor.
They couldn't get to the right pitch because that was his first 3-ball count of the night.
Wow.
What do you like to throw 3 and 2? We haven't done that tonight.
I forgot. So Taylor, the first one really to make him even sweat. Do the 3-2 again. Fly to center field. Sends Duvall back to the wall to make the catch. Max Fried is perfect through 5 innings, and it's 3-0 to the 6th. SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's $5.99 popcorn chicken combos with 100% all white meat chicken and Jack's Good sauce. Order now in the Jack app or have it delivered. Braves up 3-0 as we move along to the 6th inning. And into the Dodger bullpen now. Evan Phillips replaces Walker Buehler. Even though Buehler had thrown just 79 pitches, part of a lineup that has seen him well coming up. And Phillips comes on for it.
See that opponent's batting average of 133. Fastball slider, and the slider has really become a good pitch for him. Looking to have a quick inning, get the offense back in the dugout, and get it cranked up.
Phillips in his first game, which was third game of the year in Colorado, he gave up a couple runs, but has retired all 10 batters that he's faced since. He's one of the only guys, not just on the Dodgers, but across baseball, who has seen an uptick in velocity early on this year. Eddie Rosario bunted through his first pitch. One ball, one strike. Dodger bullpen yesterday, 4 shutout innings, and that 7-4 win. Phillips, the first man out of it tonight, is 1-1 to Rosario. Is popped up. Fading into foul ground. Hanser Alberto squats under it, makes the catch. Well, we've put the spotlight on the starters, everything they've done during the winning streak, but the bullpen has not been a slouch either. 2.08 ERA during the 7-game run.
So many guys that Dave Roberts and Mark Prior can call on down there. All different stuff, a lot of different arm angles, the ability to bring the gas, but also change speeds with exceptional breaking balls.
One gone, 6th inning. Travis d'Arnaud, who started the scoring with a home run, looks at a perfectly placed strike.
First pitch fastball tried to go away. It leaked back over the inner half, about waist high. Those are the ones you hope they foul back, but that was not a foul ball.
Quickly 0-2 on d'Arnaud. Started him with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and then that sweeper out of the same window.
Cheater in the batter's box. That's when you make that swing right there, and you look like a little leaguer. You were expecting fastball, going to cheat a little bit on it. No, they threw something else. It's not fair.
Same thing, takes this one. Late 90s, early 2000s. Travis d'Arnaud was one of the kids sitting in the stands at Dodger Stadium. Grew up in Long Beach, dreaming of being the next Mike Piazza, Russell Martin. And then got to put the Dodger uniform on for 5 days in 2019. He got one at bat. On the ground to Alberto. 2 up and 2 down. d'Arnaud, though, said that those couple days, you just look on his baseball reference page, one at bat. It's like, oh, footnote in his career. He said that time with the Dodgers was a much bigger deal than it would seem. Helped him restore his love for the game. He just gotten cut loose by the Mets. But getting to put on the uniform of the team he grew up cheering for, coming to Dodger Stadium for a couple days in that time. And then something more tangible, and that is he worked with Robert Van Scoyoc and Brant Brown really closely and helped change his swing. Started to turn things around for him. A year later, he had a contract after going to the Tampa Bay Rays and really excelling with some of the things that he learned here. Ball 1 on Adam Duvall.
You can only stretch those coaches so thin. You've got to really concentrate on the big league roster, and he finally got some quality time with those two.
Duvall came into the series on an 8-game on-base streak, but 0 for 6 so far. Phillips brings him a 1-1, gets a swing and a miss. This stuff looks so good.
It really does. A lot of times we're talking nowadays about that window for the high fastball and the tunneling effect. Well, he's got a nice tunneling effect down there by the knees with the 97, 96 mile-an-hour fastball and then that sweeping slider.
1-2. Gets the first 1-2-3 and into the game for the Dodgers. Evan Phillips take a bow. 3-0 to the bottom of the 6th. Still looking for their first base runner against Fried. Inside the Box Score brought to you by your Lexus dealers. All about Max Fried, who's gone 15 up and 15 down on just 64 pitches.
He's had breaking balls looking like strikes, ending up balls. He's dotted the fastball every once in a while. Had tremendous movement on his sinker tonight. And he has gotten some ground balls. And he's pitched with some good luck, which he hasn't had much of coming into tonight.
Hanser Alberto leads off this inning for the Dodgers and takes ball 1. Dodger offense #1 in baseball so far. Especially good over the last week. Meeting their match through 5 innings tonight. Alberto swats one to right center. There's the first base runner of the game. Leadoff hit for Hanser Alberto. And the perfect game finished here in the 6th.
Great bat to ball skills. He got jammed on a fastball earlier tonight. This is a up changeup that he just places right out there to right field.
And now you know the vibe in that dugout is here we go. Now we go. Cody Bellinger to the plate. Just missed off the end of the barrel his first time. Flied the deep center. Bounces this one foul. The hit for Hanser Alberto, first one for the Dodgers since Bellinger's home run late in last night's game. It was Bellinger's second this year. He continues to alternate between no hits and 2 hits. On an 0-1. Curve catches the top. Strike 2. No way, there's no chance, he says.
Yeah, that one fell out of the sky and not normally called a strike, but catches the electronic strike zone. It's actually one that Fried is glad that Cody didn't offer at. That was a hanger.
You hang him,
we bang him.
0-2. Back comes Fried. Fouled off. Middle with that fastball.
Cody's hit a couple of that height this year, getting better at the higher fastballs, the waist high and above, but he has crushed the ball low.
On another 0-2. Lays off one in the dirt. Good step by d'Arnaud. It's 1-2. This is sort of uncharted waters for the Dodgers. Playing from behind, trailing for the first time in 8 games. So looking for a comeback win tonight, trying to improve their Major League best record to 9-2. Alberto off first. Fried to Bellinger with a 1-2 pitch. Takes ball 2. Another curve.
Earlier, Cody got a curveball for a strike that he didn't agree with, but he's done a nice job laying off the next 2 breaking balls to get this count back to even.
Now a 2-2. Bellinger fouls it off. Get off me ball.
Shown him the breaking ball 3 times and then tries the fastball in on the hands. The last fastball he threw him was right down the middle. Cody fouled it back. That one a little bit more crowded him. You see the 3 curveballs in this at bat. Fried is only 5 for 15, landing that curveball for a strike.
Another 2-strike pitch. Another foul.
They were trying to go low and away to lock him up, have him read it as a breaking ball, take it, and then it hangs on that corner for a called strike 3. But no, they missed in, got the check swing. What's that short swing that he has? What's he call it?
Just touch it.
Just touch it swing. I like just touch it on a breaking ball over there to the left side. They only have 1 fielder.
Just tap it in.
Just tap it over there to left.
Give it a little tappy. Another 2-2 pitch. After a long pause, here comes Fried. Bellinger down swinging as he turned it up to 97 and hit the bullseye.
What back-to-back fastballs. The first one he missed with the width of the plate. This one he just dots.
Number 15, Austin Barnes.
Good response to giving up your first hit of the game.
Strikeout number 5 for Fried. Up comes Austin Barnes. Wants the first one inside and puts it there.
In the 70s with the curveball, that little slider there, about 88, high 80s, and then he went 97 to lock. Wow. Nice arsenal tonight.
The 28-year-old left-hander misses up here. Trying to solve what has been the biggest issue early on for the Braves, and that is the starting pitching. After Huascar Ynoa gave up 5 runs last night, the rotation ERA is .581 over their first 12 games. Alberto at first, 1 away. 1-1 pitch. Curve is there for a strike, 1 and 2. Barnes pulls it sharply to short. 6-4-3. He gives up the first base run over the game, but has still faced the minimum. And the Braves lead 3-0 after 6.
Start your weekend off with a bang next Friday, April 29th, here at Dodger Stadium when the Dodgers face the Tigers. After the game, it's Friday night fireworks. You and your family can come down to the field. You're not going to want to miss it. It's presented by UCLA Health. So make sure you go to Dodgers.com/promotions to learn more information, or you can scan the QR code on the screen.
All right, Kirsten. It's a much improved Detroit Tigers team, one that David Price used to pitch for. Saw him for the 4th time this season, quietly putting together a good year so far. He's given up just 1 hit. And tries to keep this a 3-0 game. Eight, 9-1 for the Braves. Orlando Arcia fouls off the first pitch.
Anytime you get into a big league game as a pitcher, yeah, you're enthused. You can get after it. But when you get into these roles after you have experienced everything that David Price has experienced, there are probably some little fantasies that he has to play in his head to make this really important to him.
Down the line over Alberto. Base hit for Arcia. He's headed to second with a leadoff double. And Orlando Arcia one of the worst offensive players in the league the last few years, is 3 for 3 tonight.
Shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Braves wearing out that left field line. Albies got a little bloop double. That one was hit a lot harder.
Ninth hit of the game for Atlanta. To the Dodgers 1. And now the 9-hitter, Dansby Swanson. Barnes out to talk with Price, and a word from Carl's Jr.
The new Gold Digger Double Cheeseburger for only $3.49. Part of our Charbroiled Double deals at Carl's Jr.
David grew up a Braves fan, idolizing David Justice. His favorite spot in town in Murfreesboro was Toots. It's the name of the restaurant. He would go there and get wings and watch the Braves games on TBS. That same spot now has David Price pictures and memorabilia all over the place. And when he was still starting, they'd announce on the marquee out front at Toots when he was starting, and the place would fill up to watch him. A lot of Dodger fans walking around Murfreesboro now. Strike one on Swanson.
Example right here of how far the game has gone and how far it has changed. Man on second, no out, bottom of the order hitter. You think he's trying to hit the ball to the right side. There's only one fielder over there now. You'd think, oh, there's just no way we can put one fielder on the right side. This guy's trying to push the ball over there and move the runner over. A 3-0 game. Our starting pitcher's still in the game doing a good job. No, he ends up pulling it into 3 fielders.
Oh, and he beat it out. Soft bouncing ball. Dansby Swanson beats out the throw from Trey Turner.
That is flying from the right hand batter's box. Hit the little topper, maybe about a 4-hopper. Trey Turner charges it, but gathers himself, and in the midst of gathering himself right there, it's not enough. Ooh, very close. One more look.
No challenge from the Dodgers. Braves are at the corners with nobody out. And the top of the order with Ozzie Albies, who has 2 of their 10 hits tonight. Infield again, playing on pull. Backdoor, strike one. Playing him to pull and pulled in. About halfway on that left side.
Halfway usually freezes the runner. They make the ball go through.
Boy, would a strikeout be huge here or what?
Mm-hmm.
I think Albies was asking for time there, didn't get it, and now sharing his displeasure with Andy Fletcher. Ron Washington helping his guy out. Letting Andy hear his opinion of that. Arcee is at third. Swanson's at first. Here comes Price with the toss over.
Braves already have 10 hits tonight, and that's again, they had 10 hits last night. They're out hitting the Dodgers 20-8 in this series. Dodgers got to be glad they already have 1 win under their belt.
Was by 7-4 score last night. Now the 0-2. Strike 3 over the inside corner. That's a big strikeout for Price, who is now a ground ball away from getting out of this inning with no damage.
First baseman number 28, Matt Olson.
All right, so we were talking about him being upset that he didn't get time called and then just kind of swatted one foul. Watch him. Time, doesn't get it, and then just has to do that. And a couple pitches later, he's finished.
Did a good job maintaining his composure.
The hitter's Olson. Perfect pitch. Olson's 0 for 2 tonight. .432 on the year to lead the National League with an OPS above 1,200.
He's got to think he's on a different team. He's got another guy in scoring position. He hasn't had many this year.
2 runs batted in on 2 solo home runs, even with all the hits he's had. He's behind 0-2. We've seen Olson so improved here with 2 strikes. First and third, 1 gone. An 0-2 pitch. Got him. How about that? Kind of a center cut fastball that Olson just swings through. David Price back-to-back Ks against 1 and 2 in the order.
Impressive. Wearing out that outside part of the plate. They were trying to go up and in, and he missed right on the outside corner and got him.
5 strikeouts now for the Dodgers. 5 to go to get the jumbo jack. Price trying to do the unthinkable here, and that is get out of the inning without a run. Braves had first and third, nobody out. Price not a high strikeout guy at this stage of his career. Not out of the woods though. Austin Riley swings and misses. Riley 2 for 3. Last time up he had that check swing, base hit to right to bring in the Braves' latest run. On an 0-1 pitch, Riley pulls it to third, but foul. 0-2 just like that.
David going for his best Houdini impression right here in this inning. Put me in a box, wrap me in chains, drop me in some water. I'll be out in about 2.5 minutes.
Bunch of strikeouts getting out of that box in the water. Makes me queasy just hearing you say that. First and third, 2 gone. That's what the Braves had with nobody out. Price strikes out. Albies looking. He gets Olson swinging. He's ahead of Riley 0-2. He comes back home. Pop down the line. Betts runs over. Mookie slides and gets it. Mookie Betts, what a play. David Price, what an escape.
Houdini had an assistant. Tonight its name is Mookie Betts.
Play of the game brought to you by your Southern California Volkswagen dealers. Mookie Betts covers a country mile and makes a sliding catch to help David Price finish off the escape act. guess who's leading off in this 3-0 game as we march along to the bottom of the 7th?
How many times does it happen?
Every time that it does. Now maybe there's some momentum to be gathered from that. Looked like the Braves were ready to really start to pull away. Instead, the Dodgers shut the door. Don't give anything up in a situation where the Braves had 1st and 3rd, nobody out. It's all fine and dandy, but they got to figure out a way to get to Max Fried, who's given up just 1 base runner. 1 ball, 1 strike on Betts. He's grounded out and lined out. Fried's thrown 80 pitches, who's right into the range where he was in his first 2 starts. Nobody warming just yet in the Braves pen. 1-1. Strike 2 to the inside edge.
Fried not getting a lot of swing and miss, but they're not hitting it hard. About 1 out of every 5 swings they're missing. But the other 4, they're at least fouling off or putting them in play.
2-2. Jumping rope. It's kind of the thing with him, right? Never a ton of strikeouts, but misses the barrel.
Yep. Changes speeds, changes break, changes sides of the plate, takes the sting out of the bat.
It's pitching.
It's pitching when you can go 97 miles an hour and go all the way down to like 73.
Yeah, that's some separation.
That's 7 feet of separation.
That's down on strikes. Pulled the string on him for the first out of the 7th.
If every
6K total.
Sorry, Joe. If every 3 mile an hour represents a foot of reaction time for a hitter, and you can change speeds by 22 miles an hour, you're talking about 7-foot differential.
Freeman 0 for 2. Everybody's 0 for 2 except Hanser Alberto as the lone Dodger hit. The lone Dodger base runner through 6. Beach ball had gotten away on the left field warning track. They get that cleared.
Dodgers would like to get some other balls out there by the warning track, rolling around.
0-2. Tyler Matzek warming. It is a left-hander. With the issues the Dodgers are having early on this season against lefties, not much of a surprise. Got Will Smith down there as well. Fried home with an 0-2. It's ball 1 on Freeman. He's turned it up a lot of times when he's gotten to 2 strikes. 97 again there.
Back-to-back heaters like he did with Cody, or is he going to go and change speeds now by about 20 miles an hour?
Shook a couple times, goes to this fastball to get Freeman. Tied him up with it. 7K, 2 out.
Sinker at 94 had a little tailing action there to jam him. Watch this ball react inside.
Trey Turner.
Base is empty, 2 gone. Trey Turner chops 1 foul.
Pretty fancy footwork down there by Riley. That was quick as a cat.
He's turned into a good player.
Turn him upside down or try to drop him on his back. He'll flip right over. Be on his feet.
Cats.
That's what cats do. Are you with me?
I am, yeah.
Okay. They also have 9 lives.
Heard that. Here's a swinging bunt that Fried throws away. And Turner's on. Keep the 7th inning going. Great effort from Fried, who's won the last 2 Gold Gloves for National League pitchers. Gold star for effort, at least here.
Good break off the mound. He's got quick speed, and he had to take a reroute. Good try. Tries to flip it to him. The attempt didn't cost him another 90 feet. Just the first 90 for a hit.
Quick visit from Rick Kranitz, maybe to help him catch his breath as much as anything. 89 pitches, and Justin Turner coming up.
One swing makes it a different game.
Sure does.
It's a good idea with this visit right here, just to let him regroup, get a good plan, recover from the impact of the ground and sprinting over there.
It does feel like a good time for Turner's first home run of the year. As we've seen, though, this opening homestand, you really got to hit it, really got to get a hold of it to get it out. The early season air, it's always harder to hit it out here. But some eyebrows being raised at the way the ball's flying, too. Not just the early season weather. Turner at first, 2 gone. Turner at the plate, 2 gone. Here comes Fried. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yesterday, JT thought he caught one that was out of here, but ended up hitting the wall in left field for a double.
Here on a 1-0 pitch. Swings and misses, 1-1. Long wait in the 1-1 pitch. One after one that was way up there. 1-2.
Big league hitter would rather swing and miss than hit it poorly into fair territory. Especially in a situation like this where you're thinking about maybe cheating a little bit, hitting a double or a home run.
The 1-2. Got him. After the high fastball, the changeup away, and Max Fried has faced just 1 more than the minimum over 7 shutout innings.
Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw pitches 7 perfect innings in his 22 season debut against the Twins. And the Dodgers celebrate the life and legacy of Jackie Robinson on his 75th anniversary of him breaking baseball's color barrier. Don't miss an all-new Backstage Dodgers Friday, presented by Cadillac.
What a game for Max Fried here in his hometown, where he's gotten roughed up several times, but tonight 1 more than the minimum over 7 shutout innings, strikes out 8, doesn't walk anybody, and is going to leave this game with a 3-0 lead. Marcell Ozuna leads off the 8th against the new Dodger pitcher Alex Vesia. So Vesia on for the heart of the lineup. Rosario and d'Arnaud to follow. 3rd outing this year for him.
This is intense facial expressions and body language against intense facial expressions and body language.
0-2.
Leave nothing on the table. And I can tell you that it is more fun to face a hitter with expressions and gyrations, and it's just more fun. It's just when you could see it on their face and in their body language, it just makes the game that much more fun.
Past Turner, leadoff base hit for Ozuna. His first hit of the series, opens this 8th.
Right fielder number 8, Eddie Rosario.
Atlanta 3, the Dodgers nothing. Top of the 8th inning. Here's Rosario. 30 years old in his 7th year. 6 years Minnesota. Last year started with Cleveland, came to the Braves, and then signed a 2-year contract this winter to stay in Atlanta. Made his big league debut back in 2015. And that morning at breakfast, he told his family and his friends, you make sure that you've got your phones out for the very first pitch. I'm just telling you. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Steps into the batter's box to face an old Dodger, Scott Kazmir. And in the very first pitch of his big league career, lines a home run the other way. That's the kind of confidence, kind of aggressiveness that you now see that he's come to be known for. On a 1-1 from Vesia, he goes up to get it, bounces gently right side. Muncy gets the lead runner. That's all. Hit too softly to do more.
Can you imagine the reaction of his family in the stands? But they all got their phones out to do it, and he goes deep. I wonder if anybody got the full flight of the baseball. They probably started cheering and moving the phones everywhere.
Family was in town to watch that from Puerto Rico, where he was born and raised. One on one out here in the 8th for d'Arnaud. Beats the shift, base hit into center. d'Arnaud's 2nd hit tonight, his 4th one of this series.
Braves are collecting a lot of hits in these 2 games. 12 now. 10 yesterday. 22. 17 innings, not a full 17 innings yet.
Two on, one gone. And here's Adam Duvall. Led the league in RBIs last year, was 2nd in home runs. Dodgers have done a good job on him these 2 games. 0 for 7. Pulled in there by Barnes. 0-1.
Any of these ducks on the pond get in there, that would hurt. You've got a chance to bring the tying run to the plate with just getting a couple guys on. It harder and harder work to let some of these tack-on runs get in.
No pitch. It looked like the Braves are going to tack on last inning. David Price is able to get out of the bases or runners at the corners, nobody out situation. Passes it on to Vesia. There are 2 guys Alex Vesia always tried to emulate when he was coming up. One of them was David Price. He was following him out of the bullpen. CC Sabathia was the other. Price now the guy that Alex is able to lean on for advice. Says what he loves most about David Price's veteran advice is that he doesn't sugarcoat anything. You always know what David thinks when you go to him and ask. And Alex, who still a young big league player, says it's just what he's needed at this stage of his career. Here's his 0-1. Good stop by Barnes. Count evens up 1-1. 1-2.
I had a straight shooter in my life when I got to the big leagues. His name was Bert Hooten. Boy, we commuted in from Orange County, and that 45 minutes to an hour drive in, I learned an awful lot. I remember one of the first drives in, he said, pretty excited to be here in the big leagues. I said, yeah. He goes, what do you think's easier, getting here or staying here? I said, I'm just kind of quiet now. He said, staying here. Now the
Duvall
down your back.
Swinging.
You made it here. You took the bullseye off of somebody else's back, but now it's on yours. Harder work to stay here than to get here.
There's that signature excitement, intensity from Alex Vesia as he gets the strikeout of Duvall. 2 on, 2 out. And Orlando Arcia putting together his best game as a Brave. He's 3 for 3.
Two guys to get 1 out. Big deal if it ends up being bases loaded, 2 out. The whole idea is to get him in the dugout without a run.
Perfectly played. Strike 1.
At the hollow of the knee and the bottom of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. The high spin, high fastball. 0-2 on Arcia.
Two extremes, huh? Right there at the bottom and right there at the top.
Vesia trying to do what his mentor David Price did. Wiggle out of a jam. Keep it 3-0. Keep the Dodgers right in it. Here he comes with an 0-2. High fly ball, deep center. Bellinger back, track, wall with room. Just enough room, tiptoeing his way out there. Sigh of relief from Alex Vesia to the bottom of the 8th. 3-0 Atlanta.
Mookie Betts providing the big highlight on defense, Jerry, but now the offense needs another one of those crooked numbers they've been putting up.
As cold as we have been, we can get red hot.
So you guys will break it down, plus reaction from the clubhouse coming up.
All right, guys, left-hander Tyler Matzek comes into the game as the Dodgers get into that Braves bullpen. Matzek's given up just 1 base runner over his 3 appearances. And he qualifies as somebody the Braves like against the Dodgers, and that he throws left-handed. Dodgers in this series against lefties 4 for 31 on the season, a major league worst OPS of 479. They've been the best team in the National League against righties, worst in the majors against lefties. Muncy grounds the first pitch that he sees to Ozzie Albies in 1 pitch, 1 out. So 3 ground outs for Muncy. 1 gone in the 8th inning. Here comes Taylor.
Number 3, Chris Taylor.
First thing you look at when a team struggles against lefties is you check out the right-handed hitters. Chris Taylor has been good this year. Justin Turner, Mookie Betts. You look at those guys. Trey Turner. Alberto has a hit, but it was off the starter. And Austin Barnes tonight in the 9-hole. Portion of those guys need to get it going against lefties. Not only tonight, but the rest of the year.
The 0-1. It's ball 1 on Taylor. One of those nights where it's anybody but Max Fried, but Tyler Matzek has been tough to hit himself. Last couple seasons for the Braves. Guy that was a first-round draft pick of the Rockies a long time ago, 13 years ago. Got to the majors as a 23-year-old in 2014. But as soon as he got there, he was gone. Dealt with the yips. Couldn't get the ball over the plate. Was released. Spent a full year away from baseball. Didn't think that he was ever going to pitch again, but then started to think to himself, can I, when I'm 70 and 80 years old, can I look back and think I didn't give it another shot when I still am at an age where I can? I want to be able to say I did everything possible to get back. And so he started pitching in indie ball. Here's his 2-1 to Taylor. Breaks inside for ball 3. The Texas Airhawks. That's where Tyler Matzek messed around with some different arm angles. Went to one from very early on in his career, higher arm angle, and it clicked for him. Stopped having the mental issues. Got back to the majors at the end of 2019. And it's been a key piece for the Braves. Inside corner with that one, count goes full.
Over the last 2 years, 90 appearances. It's right there in the top of the league as far as somebody you're going to use. 69 last year.
Got Muncy on one pitch. Taylor's worked the count full. Here's the payoff. He'll do it again. Could be setting up for an appointment with Kenley Jansen in the 9th inning. Another 3-2 pitch. Taylor leaves it upstairs, ball 4. And the Dodger team that had drawn 7 walks in back-to-back games has its first tonight. Here's Alberto. One of their 2 hits. Single to start the 6th, broke up the perfect game of Max Fried. Chase that one way in. 0-1.
Been too much chase in the Dodger game tonight. That's the 27th time that they've chased a ball that was out of the strike zone. Their previous high coming into tonight was only 21. They're kind of searching for the ball when it's outside or inside.
This one gets away from d'Arnaud. Taylor's going to move up to second and keep on running. The hustle of Taylor puts him 90 feet away, which is a significant difference with 1 out.
Some nice base running to not just give in to 90 feet and look for 180. Glance in and see it get away, and he becomes his own base coach. You see Dino Ebel looking at the ball. Chris Taylor is on his own, and he gets it done.
So now you've got maybe the best bat-to-ball guy on the team, with an opportunity to bring Taylor in, get the Dodgers on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matzek to Alberto. Fouls it straight back, and it's 1-2.
Atlanta will trade an out for a run. They've got the infield back. So you need a little of that bat-to-ball skill right here.
29-year-old in his first season with the Dodgers. Taylor at third, 1 away. 1-2 pitch. Alberto takes the ball. It's 2-2.
Little Adrian Beltre take right there.
Here comes a 2-2. Breaks his bat up the middle. That'll get the job done. Broken bat to ball. Dodgers on the board as Alberto drives home Taylor by finding a way to put it in play.
Well, some heads-up base running from Chris Taylor. Alberto puts the ball in play, and he made a nice read on that jam shot. Little pop-up over the mound. You got to make sure at third it's not going to go far enough to get caught. You see, freeze and then go.
That's tough. I mean, Taylor was not at an easy angle to read that.
The trajectory was like it could get caught, but he had to read the velocity.
And a smile that can light up LA there. Hanser Alberto brings home the first run for the Dodgers. Here's Bellinger with 2 out. Base is empty. Taking a strike from Matzek. And yeah, you touched on it. Yeah, Alberto put it in play, but Taylor's base running from first to home, getting the Dodgers on the board. Bellinger 0 for 2 thus far. They're behind 0-2. Dismantles Bellinger there on 3 pitches. But the Dodgers get their first run of the game, and we go to the 9th. Atlanta 3, the Dodgers 1. LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard. From Price to Vesia, now Brule, as this game goes to the 9th inning. One left-hander after another. Yeah, Brule to face 9-1-2 in the Braves order, trying to keep the Dodgers right here with 9-1-2 due up for LA, likely against Kenley Jansen in the bottom of the 9th. Strike 1. There is one weird sight. Kenley, when he got here yesterday, had to have a Brave staffer show him how to get to the visiting clubhouse. He had never been there. Why would he? Up the middle, knuckling by Brule to a charging Muncy for the first out of the 9th. The Nissan calendar. Remember, noon tomorrow. And off Thursday. Padres starting on Friday. 3-game series with the red-hot Manny Machado. Machado hit another home run tonight. He's hitting .354. Rest of the team's hitting below .220. It's been the Manny Machado show there. Still without Fernando Tatis. Will be until midsummer.
They beat the Reds tonight 6-2.
Took the first 2 of that series. Strike on Albies.
That Chris Taylor walk and pushing him around after some good base running to get him in turns the lineup over too. So now you get Betts and Freeman. Going to get to see Kenley Jansen.
What do you think's going through Kenley's head?
Probably trying to block out an awful lot.
Because you can say, oh, no, you know, it's just another game and I'm a pro, but come on.
Well, that's what you say if you record the save.
Right.
Something bad happened, you might say, well, it was a pretty emotional night. Didn't work out. I'll get him next time.
Pop up. Freeman has room. 2 out.
That's a big league pop-up. When you're in the upper deck and you're coming enjoying a game and all of a sudden the ball is the same height as you. And if you have to look up at it and you're in the upper deck, that is really a big league pop-up.
How many feet do you think that is from the ground to the very top, to the top row?
Wow. I don't know.
That's way up there. And it's a majestic wall of seats. 150 feet, way over the head of Olson. That was about 12 feet up there.
It's about 1, 2, 3. It's about four and a half two-story houses.
Oh, okay. So that would be.
What's that?
my stories.
200 feet. You know, our Twitter account will have the answer when we get off the air. And you're talking measurement from the playing field.
Yeah. 2-1.
If you're talking from the top parking lot, it's not that tall at all.
No, right. I'm trying to take home to first and turn it up on its head, and see. So there's 90 feet.
Well, I'm looking at the bullpen seats above the bullpen, thinking that's almost about a two-story house, and I'm looking how many of those take me to the roof.
2 balls and a strike. Brule comes home, fouled off. 2-2. You keep using the house thing, but how many feet is 1 story?
Well, let's just go with 12 foot, 14 foot.
Okay.
So 2 stories, 28 plus the roof, another 10. So, 2-story house, maybe let's say 40 feet high. I don't know.
Carry the roof, drop the 3. 2-2 on Olson.
Nothing but net.
Brule delivers. The count goes full. Dodgers have 9-1-2 coming up in the bottom of the 9th. That's Barnes, Betts, and Freeman.
Is it a tile roof or shingles?
Here's 3-2. You got him.
Right.
Justin Brule. 1-2-3 top of the 9th. Good work from the bullpen to keep the Dodgers in this game. And here comes Atlanta Brave Kenley Jansen. Moments ago, Kenley Jansen taking the field and hearing some boos from this Dodger Stadium crowd. 352 saves in his career, 350 of those in the Dodger uniform. The franchise record holder. And what an odd sight. Takes them out in a Braves uniform for his 5th game. Gave up 3 runs in his first appearance with the Braves. 3 perfect appearances since.
And he was just announced into the game, and there is a loud applause, a few smattering of boos, but a lot of people out of their chairs giving him a standing ovation.
Pinch hitter coming up to face him to lead off this inning. It's Will Smith. Pinch hitting for Barnes. A run in the 2nd, a run in the 4th, a run in the 5th for the Braves. Dodgers got their tally in the 8th. Looking for some 9th inning magic to keep this winning streak alive. It's at 7 games right now. The Dodgers to face Kenley Jansen. A familiar wiggle of the hips. Familiar cutter. Ball 1. Strike 1.
Both cutters at 91.
Seen that fluctuate in recent years, anywhere from 90 to 96. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Catch a pitch all you want. It does help you a little bit, but you still got to figure out how to hit it.
Pop foul. 93 this time. Will Smith caught him 76 times. Only A.J. Ellis and Yasmani Grandal have caught more of Kenley Jansen's career appearances. 3-1 game, bottom of the ninth. Will Smith leads off against Kenley Jansen and pops it into right center field. Heredia for the first out.
One of the things that Kenley always worked on as a Dodger, you know, he's the all-time save leader, those 350 saves. He worked on not easing into an outing. We saw it here tonight, 91-91, got up to 93, that last pitch 94. He's always worked on breathing fire coming out of the bullpen right away.
Can Betts reach to make Freeman represent the tying run? 0 for 3 today, 0 for 6 in this series. First one from Jansen. Inside corner, strike one. Oh, 96, and he got the call.
96 and stayed behind it. That little bit more of a two-seamer or a four-seamer, not a cutter.
Jansen to Betts with an 0-2. He buzzed him, ball one.
Will Smith, he pretty much worked away. Last pitch was a low cutter that he was trying to go up with. Here he's crowding Mookie.
One ball and two strikes. Here comes Kenley Jansen.
He's got some giddy up on that fastball.
Yeah, you knew there was going to be extra motion. How would he channel it?
Doing a nice job so far.
Freddie Freeman waits on deck as Mookie Betts waits on this 1-2 pitch from Kenley Jansen. First appearance against the Dodgers. Here comes. Got him on the high heater.
He's been from 91 to 96, but after a couple pitches to get loose, it's been mostly 93 to 96. We're getting too many funky swings out of Mookie Betts.
A couple guys that have traded places. They faced off 12 times, but in opposite uniforms, the ones they're wearing right now. Freeman has 3 hits, a couple walks against Jansen. If he can reach it, it'll be Trey Turner. Four hits on Sunday, home run, couple walks last night. 0 for 3 tonight. On 1-0, Freeman skies it to center field. Duvall's over, and that will do it. Kenley Jansen with a 1-2-3 ninth inning in his return to Dodger Stadium, and behind a splendid performance from Max Fried, the Braves snapped the Dodger win streak at 7.
They silenced the bats. The Dodgers didn't have the same plate discipline tonight. A lot of chase and only 1 walk. That's different compared to the 7 walks yesterday.
So 3-1 the final score. Dodgers drop to 8-3. The Braves improve to 6-7. And the series will wrap up tomorrow. Noon start time as Tony Gonsolin takes the ball for the Dodgers against Charlie Morton for the Braves. For Orel Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long and talk to you tomorrow morning.